Hey guys, at Enchant Minds here, and let me tell you something. America is crawling with restless spirits. Welcome to a whistle-stop tour of America's spookiest locales. We're talking places where the only chills you get are from the ghosts, not the air conditioning. So grab your proton packs or just a flashlight, because we're about to get ghostly. Get ready to face your fears. Get ready to be terrified.
We're starting our journey in Savannah, Georgia, a city steeped in history, mystery, and restless spirits. Our first stop is the old Chatham County Jail, a place that has seen murder, mayhem, and death. The energy here is heavy, oppressive. You can feel the despair of the inmates. The jail is a living, breathing nightmare. People claim to hear agonizing screams and the clang of bars. Paranormal hunters are always going deep inside to confront whatever entities might be lurking. One of the most infamous spirits said to haunt these halls is Wild Bill Thompson, a former inmate who met a particularly gruesome end. They say his spirit is tethered to this place, unable to find peace after the brutal way his life ended. Some say he roams the cell blocks, his ghostly footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. Visitors and staff alike have reported seeing a shadowy figure that fits Wild Bill's description, often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread and the distinct smell of stale tobacco. It's like he's still trying to assert his dominance, even in death, trapped in an endless cycle of anger and despair. Paranormal hunters have tried to communicate with these spirits to understand their pain, their anger, their reasons for clinging to this world. Paranormal hunters have used every tool at their disposal to document paranormal presence and hopefully offer them some peace. The stories from this place are enough to make your hair stand on end. People have reported hearing the clanging of chains, the echoing slam of cell doors, all happening when they're completely alone. It's like the jail itself is alive, replaying its gruesome history for anyone who dares to enter. And then, there's the cigar smoke. Visitors have reported catching whiffs of a strong, musty cigar smoke, even though smoking has been banned in the jail for decades. Some say it's the lingering scent of a former warden, his spirit still patrolling the halls, ensuring order is kept even in the afterlife. But perhaps the most unsettling reports are the cold spots, sudden intense drops in temperature that leave you feeling like you've been plunged into an icy bath. It's a feeling of being watched, of being touched by something unseen, something not of this world. Would you dare to be there to investigate, be there to experience these phenomena for yourselves? Would you dare to put yourselves in the most haunted areas of the jail, to confront whatever might be lurking in the darkness? Would you dare to face the unknown, to uncover the truth behind the old Chatham County Jail's terrifying legacy? Our next stop takes us to Chattanooga, Tennessee, a city known for its rich history and southern hospitality. But beneath the charming exterior lies the Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel. It's now a hotbed of paranormal activity, with guests reporting the mournful whistle of a phantom train, a haunting reminder of the hotel's past.
But the phantom train isn't the only ghostly resident. There are whispers of a spectral porter, still performing his duties even in death.
Alright, we're in Old Colorado City, a place where the echoes of the gold rush still linger in the air, and I'm not just talking about the history books. This town was built on dreams, desperation, and a whole lot of dust. And some say that energy, that raw human experience, it doesn't just fade away.
The buildings here have seen it all, from boom to bust, from saloons filled with laughter to the silence of abandoned mines. We're talking about a time when life was at risk and death was a constant companion. The spirits of those who lived and died here, they're still drawn to these streets, trapped between this world and the next. Keep your eyes peeled as we walk these streets. You might just catch a glimpse of a ghostly miner, his pickaxe slung over his shoulder, or a shopkeeper in a long coat, his eyes reflecting the hardships of frontier life. These are the restless souls, unable to move on, forever tethered to the place they called home.
Now this old bank, this place has stories, dark ones. They say that late at night when the moon casts long shadows across the town, you can hear the echoes of a heist gone wrong. Imagine the clinking of coins, the panicked whispers of robbers, the thud of a body hitting the floor. Some say it's the ghosts of those robbers, forever reliving that fateful night, their greed and desperation binding them to this place. They're trapped in a loop, forever trying to escape with their ill-gotten gains, but forever failing. Others believe it's the victims, their spirits seeking justice, their cries for help echoing through the decades. Whatever the truth may be, this bank holds a dark energy, a heaviness that's hard to shake. We're going to set up some cameras here, try to capture any spectral activity. This place feels like it's on the verge of spilling its secrets, and I have a feeling we're about to get a front row seat. This old saloon was the heart of the town. Miners came here to drink away their sorrows and celebrate their victories. Now, it stands silent, but don't let that fool you. The spirits here love a good party, even in death. People have reported seeing a spectral bartender pouring drinks for patrons who are long gone. There's a sadness to this place too. You can almost hear the mournful tunes of a ghostly piano. Let's see if we can't stir up some of those memories. The Elms Mansion. This place is a masterpiece of elegance and tragedy. A grand old house with a history as captivating as it is heartbreaking. We're talking about a time of lavish parties, whispered secrets, and a darkness that money couldn't hide. They say these walls have witnessed it all: love, betrayal, even death. And the spirits who once called this place home, they haven't forgotten. They linger here, trapped by unfinished business, or drawn back by the echoes of a life once lived. As we step inside, pay attention to the atmosphere. Do you feel a shift? A coldness that has nothing to do with the temperature? That's the feeling of being watched, of being surrounded by unseen eyes. The spirits here, they're not always malevolent, but they are ever present, their energy woven into the very fabric of this house. This isn't just a building, it's a living, breathing entity, and we're about to step inside its haunted heart.
This place, it holds so many memories, both joyous and sorrowful. The walls, they whisper secrets if you listen closely. Tonight, we might just hear them.
This library, with its towering shelves and the scent of aging paper, it's a room where knowledge and sorrow intertwine.
They say the lady in white, a former resident who met a tragic end, still walks these halls, her sorrow as palpable as the dust motes dancing in the sunlight.
Some say she's searching for a lost love. Others believe she's forever bound to the books she cherished in life. But whatever the reason, her presence is undeniable.
Visitors have reported feeling a cold touch, a whisper of a breeze, and the faint scent of lilac, her favorite perfume.
This room holds a particular sadness, a weight that settles on your shoulders the moment you step inside. It's the weight of her sorrow, of her unfinished business, and it's a stark reminder that some stories, they don't have happy endings.
We're going to set up an EVP recorder in here, see if we can't capture some of her whispers, maybe even a glimpse of her spectral form.
This room is a portal to the past, and we're about to see what secrets it holds. Story block 1. This library, with its towering shelves and the scent of aging paper, it's a room where knowledge and sorrow intertwine. Story block 2.
They say the lady in white, a former resident who met a tragic end, still walks these halls, her sorrow as palpable as the dust motes dancing in the sunlight. Story block 3.
Some say she's searching for a lost love, others believe she's forever bound to the books she cherished in life. Story block 4. But whatever the reason, her presence is undeniable. Story block 5.
Visitors have reported feeling a cold touch, a whisper of a breeze, and the faint scent of lilac, her favorite perfume. Story block 6.
This room holds a particular sadness, a weight that settles on your shoulders the moment you step inside. Story block 7. It's the weight of her sorrow, of her unfinished business, and it's a stark reminder that some stories, they don't have happy endings. Story block 8.
We're going to set up an EVP recorder in here, see if we can't capture some of her whispers, maybe even a glimpse of her spectral form. Story block 9.
This room is a portal to the past, and we're about to see what secrets it holds. Now the attic. This is where the energy of this house seems to converge, where the veil between the living and the dead feels thinnest. It's a place of shadows and secrets, where the air is thick with anticipation and fear. They say this is where a young maid, her life cut tragically short, met her demise. Whether by accident or something more sinister, her spirit is said to remain, trapped in this dark and forgotten space. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied footsteps, the rustling of unseen fabric, and a feeling of being watched, followed by an unseen presence. There's a vulnerability here, a rawness that's both unsettling and heartbreaking. It's as if the spirits here, they're reaching out, desperate to be heard. to share their stories. We're going to be using a spirit box in here, hoping to establish communication, to give these spirits a voice. This is a risky move, opening ourselves up to the unknown, but it's a risk we're willing to take. We're here to listen, to learn, and to face whatever might be lurking in the shadows. The Riddle House. This place isn't just haunted, it's notorious. It's a place where the supernatural seems to have a sense of humor, a playful yet unsettling presence that keeps you on edge. We're talking doors slamming shut on their own, objects moving mysteriously, and a mischievous spirit named Joseph who seems to delight in playing tricks on the living. This isn't your typical haunted house, it's a place where the paranormal seems to thrive on interaction. Some might find it unsettling, this constant feeling of being watched, of being toyed with, but there's an undeniable energy here, a vibrancy that's hard to ignore. As we step inside, be prepared for anything. Joseph, or whatever entity resides here, they like to keep things interesting. Keep your eyes open and your guard up, because in this house, you never know what's going to happen next. Now the attic. This is where Joseph's story takes a tragic turn. It's said that he met his untimely demise here, and his spirit, unable to find peace, lingers in this space, forever tied to the place of his passing. Visitors have reported feeling an oppressive weight in the air, a sudden drop in temperature, and the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. Some even claim to hear Joseph's laughter echoing through the rafters, a chilling reminder that death doesn't always erase a spirit's personality. This room is a focal point for the paranormal activity in this house. It's where the veil between the living and the dead feels thinnest, where the energy is almost tangible. Paranormal hunters have claimed to put a REM pod in there, a device that's sensitive to changes in electromagnetic fields, the kind of energy that spirits are said to manipulate. They want to see if they can entice Joseph to interact, to give us a sign of his presence. The Riddle House. It's a place of contradictions. It's a place of laughter and fear, of mischief and tragedy. It's a place where the past and present collide, where the stories of the living and the dead intertwine. People have claimed to experience some strange phenomena there, unexplained noises, the feeling of being watched, even a few whispers that sent chills down our spines. But more than anything, people have felt Joseph's presence, his energy, his playful yet unsettling nature. This isn't a place for the faint of heart. It's a place that demands respect, a place that challenges your perceptions of life and death, a place that stays with you long after you've left its shadow. As we leave this house behind, we carry with us the weight of its history, the stories of its former residents, and the lingering feeling that we're not alone, that the veil between our world and the next, it's thinner than we think. Guys, hospitals, they're already creepy enough, right? But this one, the old South Pittsburgh Hospital, this place takes it to a whole other level. Decades of pain, suffering, and death are soaked into these walls. You can feel it the second you step inside. It's like the building itself is haunted. The stories we've heard stick with you. Patients crying out in the dead of night, phantom footsteps echoing down the halls, shadows moving in the corners of your eye. This place was a hive of activity for years, and now it seems like some of that activity never stopped. There's something darker going on. You can sense it in the air, in the way the temperature drops suddenly, in the way the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. This isn't just a building, it's a sponge, soaked in raw human emotion. Now the morgue, that's where things get really intense. This is where they used to bring the bodies, where they'd prepare them for the afterlife. You can imagine the kind of energy that would linger here, the sadness, the fear, the unknown. People talk about seeing shadowy figures in here, apparitions of the deceased still wandering these halls. Some say they've even seen the spectral figures of doctors and nurses still going about their duties long after death. It's like they're trapped here, bound to this place by whatever happened within these walls. And the smells, man. Some people have reported catching whiffs of formaldehyde, even though this place has been abandoned for years. Listen, I've been in my fair share of morgues, and let me tell you, there's a certain chill that permeates the air, a kind of stillness that sends shivers down your spine. But this place, it's different. It's like the silence itself is screaming at you, filled with the unspoken words of those who never made it out. Then there are the operating rooms. Just imagine the pressure, the intensity, the life or death decisions that were made in these rooms. Now imagine that energy amplified, twisted, trapped here with us. Some visitors, they claim to hear the clinking of surgical instruments, the murmur of doctors long gone. It's like they're performing these ghostly surgeries, these echoes of procedures past, playing out in some spectral loop. And the feeling you get in there, it's not just about the equipment or the history. It's a presence, an awareness, like something is watching you, studying you. We're talking about a place where the veil between life and death is thin, maybe even torn in places. You can feel it in every fiber of your being. The air is thick, heavy with the weight of thousands of untold stories. And trust me, some stories are better left untold. Alright, we're heading out west now to Deadwood, South Dakota, a town steeped in Wild West history, a town where legends were made and broken. And there's no place more legendary than the Bullock Hotel. This place has seen it all, folks. Gunfights, gold rushes, and yeah, maybe even a ghost or two. This isn't just a hotel, it's a time capsule. You walk through those doors and you're transported back to the era of cowboys and outlaws. You can practically smell the whiskey and sawdust in the air. But beneath the surface, beneath the charm and the history, there's an undercurrent of something else, something unexplained. See, Seth Bullock himself, the man who built this place, he said to still roam these halls. Guests report seeing him in his dapper suit, keeping an eye on things just like he did when he was alive. It's like he can't let go of his beloved hotel, his legacy etched into every brick and floorboard. Now the Saloon, that's where things get really interesting. Back in the day, this place was the heart of Deadwood, filled with miners, gamblers, and all sorts of colorful characters. And that energy, that Wild West spirit, it seems to have lingered on. People talk about hearing phantom laughter, glasses clinking, even ghostly poker games taking place in the dead of night. Imagine that, sitting down for a quiet drink, only to find yourself caught in the middle of a ghostly card game. The air in the saloon is thick with the spirits of those who came before, their laughter and their sorrows echoing through the years. Some guests, they've even reported feeling a sudden chill, a drop in temperature, like a cold hand just brushed against their skin. It's a feeling that sends shivers down your spine, a reminder that we're not alone here. And it's not just the saloon. People have reported all sorts of strange occurrences throughout the hotel, from flickering lights to disembodied voices. Some have even heard the sound of horses' hooves outside, even though there's nothing there. It's like the echoes of the past are bleeding into the present, reminding us that the Wild West wasn't just a time period. It was a state of mind, a raw energy that still lingers in these parts. You can feel it in the air, in the wind whistling through the canyons, in the stories whispered on the breeze. The Bullock Hotel isn't just a place to stay, it's a portal to another time, another world. And if you listen closely, you might just hear the whispers of the past, beckoning you to step back in time and experience the Wild West for yourself. Alright folks, from the rough and tumble Wild West, we're heading down south to Austin, Texas, to a place where elegance and eerie go hand in hand. We're talking about the Driscoll Hotel, a place oozing with southern charm and haunted by more than a few restless spirits. Now this place is a landmark, known for its luxurious accommodations and its storied past. But behind the polished marble and crystal chandeliers, there's a darker side to the Driscoll, a history filled with tragedy, heartbreak, and unexplained occurrences. Guests have reported all sorts of strange happenings here, from flickering lights and disembodied voices to full-blown apparitions. It's like the walls themselves are whispering secrets, tales of love lost and lives cut short. One of the most famous ghosts of the Driscoll is the Weeping Bride. Legend has it she was a young woman who fell to her death on the grand staircase on her wedding day. Now, her heartbroken spirit is said to roam the halls, her mournful cries echoing through the night.
Guests claim to see me, dressed in white, gliding down the staircase, my face veiled, tears streaming down my cheeks. Imagine turning a corner and coming face to face with a heartbroken bride, my sorrow palpable, my presence chilling you to the bone. Some even say they've smelled the scent of my perfume, a lingering fragrance of jasmine and lilies, a bittersweet reminder of a life cut short, a love that never had the chance to bloom.
But the Weeping Bride isn't the only restless spirit at the Driscoll. There are whispers of a little girl who roams the halls, her laughter echoing through the corridors. Some say she's the ghost of a child who died in the hotel many years ago, her spirit forever trapped within these walls. And then there's the music. Guests have reported hearing phantom piano melodies drifting from the ballroom late at night, even though the room is empty. It's like the ghosts of the Driscoll are hosting their own spectral soiree, their music a haunting reminder of a bygone era. The Driscoll Hotel, with its opulent facade and its chilling secrets, stands as a testament to the idea that even in the most beautiful of places, darkness can linger and the past can reach out to touch us. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to the Colorado Rockies. The Overlook Hotel, a paranormal mecca. You might know it from The Shining. This place is the real deal. Guests report flickering lights and apparitions. You come for an experience, and trust me, you'll get one. We're diving into the chilling heart of the Overlook Hotel. One of the most common experiences reported at the Overlook is the sound of children laughing. Now, this might seem innocent enough, but not when you consider that the hotel is practically deserted. Guests have described hearing the pitter-patter of little feet running down the hallways only to find themselves completely alone. And then there are the voices, whispers, murmurs, sometimes even full-blown conversations, all seemingly coming from thin air. Some say these are the voices of former guests, their energy imprinted on the very fabric of the building. Others believe they could be something more sinister, something lurking just beyond our perception. Now, I've been in my fair share of haunted hallways, but there's something particularly unsettling about the Overlook. It's like the air itself is heavy with anticipation, like something is always watching, waiting for its moment to strike. You can feel the weight of the past here, the echoes of laughter and sorrow, of joy and despair. It's a potent cocktail of emotions, and it's enough to send shivers down even the bravest soul's spine. No exploration of the Overlook is complete without mentioning room 237. Made famous by The Shining, it's synonymous with paranormal activity. Guests report icy cold spots and malfunctioning electronics. Some even see a woman in the bathtub. But room 237 isn't the only hotspot. The ballroom is haunted by couples who met their demise, and the bar is a favorite haunt of a spectral bartender. EVP recordings suggest he's still pouring drinks. Not every guest will have a paranormal experience, but this place is a beacon for the unexplained, a magnet for spirits of the departed. For an adventurous vacation, book a room at the Overlook. Just don't say I didn't warn you. From the chilling heights of the Rockies, we descend into the humid heart of New Orleans, a city steeped in history, voodoo, and of course, ghosts. And there's no place in this city where the veil between the living and the dead is thinner than at the LaLaurie Mansion. This grand old house has seen its fair share of darkness. It was once home to Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a woman whose name has become synonymous with cruelty and depravity. Behind the mansion's elegant facade, she subjected her slaves to unspeakable horrors, their cries for mercy echoing through the halls. Now, Madame LaLaurie might be long gone, but the echoes of her evil linger, woven into the very fabric of the building. Visitors and residents alike have reported hearing screams, moans, and the rattling of chains, as if the spirits of her victims are forever trapped within these walls. The LaLaurie Mansion is not for the faint of heart. It's a place where the past bleeds into the present, where the weight of history is palpable, and where the air itself feels thick with suffering and despair. If the walls of the LaLaurie Mansion could talk, they'd scream. But perhaps no part of this house holds more darkness than the attic. It was here that Madame LaLaurie carried out her most horrific acts, torturing her victims with a chilling creativity that defies comprehension. People have reported seeing shadowy figures darting in and out of the attic windows, their forms twisted and contorted, their eyes burning with a cold, otherworldly light. Some say these are the spirits of the slaves, forever seeking solace from the horrors they endured. But it's not just the visual phenomena that make the attic so unsettling, it's the feeling. The moment you step foot in that space, the temperature plummets, the air grows heavy, and you can almost feel the weight of invisible eyes upon you, watching, judging. Look, I'm not one to shy away from a challenge, but I'll be honest, the attic of the LaLaurie Mansion gets to me. It's a raw, visceral reminder of the darkness that humanity is capable of, and it's not a feeling I'll soon forget. The LaLaurie Mansion might be the epicenter of paranormal activity in New Orleans, but it's far from the only place where the spirits roam free. This city is built on a foundation of history, mystery, and magic, and it's no surprise that the veil between the worlds is thin here. Walk down any street in the French Quarter, and you'll feel it. The weight of the past, the whispers of secrets long buried, the sensation that you're being watched by unseen eyes. From the ghostly patrons of its bars to the spirits said to roam the cemeteries, New Orleans is a city where the living and the dead walk hand in hand. So, if you're ever in the Big Easy and you're feeling brave, take a stroll past the LaLaurie Mansion. Just remember, you're not just walking past a building, you're walking past a portal to the past, a place where the echoes of suffering still resonate, and where the spirits of the departed are forever seeking peace. Well folks, there you have it, a spooktacular tour of some of America's most haunted hotspots. We've explored the chilling halls of the Overlook Hotel, felt the weight of history at the LaLaurie Mansion, and encountered spirits who refuse to stay silent. But remember, this is just a taste of the paranormal buffet that awaits you out there. America is a land rich in history, mystery, and yes, ghosts. So, the next time you're feeling adventurous, why not plan a trip to one of these haunted locations? Just don't blame me if you end up needing a nightlight or a